On the 11th of November, 2022, the air in Donovan Faison's cramped apartment was thick with the smell of cheap weed and cheaper anxiety. It was a Tuesday, and Tuesdays were for arguing. Kaylin Fiengo, her face still round with the softness of youth at 18, stood by the window, the neon sign from the pawnshop across the street painting her in alternating flashes of red and blue. This is the story of Kaylin Fiengo. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Unreal Truthful Crime. "You're not hearing me, Donnie," she said, her voice trembling with a forced courage. "It's not just about us anymore." Donovan, 23, and already feeling the weight of a life going nowhere fast, scrolled absently through his phone, not reading anything. "It's always something with you, Kay. A new drama every week. This isn't drama," she snapped, her hand instinctively going to her stomach, a gesture so new it still looked foreign on her. "This is a baby. Our baby. I'm 10 weeks. I saw the doctor today." The phone lowered. The room seemed to shrink, the walls pressing in. Donovan's world, which he kept carefully confined to the next paycheck, the next high, and the minimal effort required to keep Kaylin placated, suddenly cracked open. A baby. The word echoed in the silent, tense space between them. It meant responsibility. It meant being tied down. It meant his friends laughing at him, his freedom gone. It meant money he didn't have and a future he'd never wanted. "You need to get rid of it," he said, his voice low and flat, devoid of any emotion but cold finality. Kaylin stared at him, her eyes wide with disbelief, then hardening with a mother's fierce resolve. "No, I'm not doing that. This is my child, our child. It's a problem, Kaylin, a problem we can't afford," he shouted, finally standing up, his tall frame towering over her. The argument escalated, their voices clawing at each other in the small space. He called her irresponsible. She called him a coward. He said she was trying to trap him. She told him he was less of a man than she'd thought. The tipping point came when she picked up her phone. "I'm calling my mom. I'm not doing this alone." Something in Donovan snapped. The thought of her mother's judgment, the wider circle of people knowing, the inescapability of it all. It was a trap closing around him. In a blur of panicked rage, he lunged. He didn't remember grabbing the .38 revolver from the loose floorboard under his bed. It was just suddenly there, cold and heavy in his hand. Kaylin's back was to him, the phone to her ear, saying, "Mom, I need..." She turned, and her eyes met his just as he raised the gun. The sound was not like in the movies. It was a deafening, ugly pop that seemed to suck all the air out of the room. Kaylin didn't scream. She just crumpled, a marionette with its strings cut, falling to the worn carpet with a soft, final thud. The silence that followed was louder than the gunshot. Smoke curled from the barrel. The only sound was the frantic voice from the phone on the floor. "Kaylin? Kaylin, are you there? What was that?" Donovan stood, frozen, looking at her. A dark pool, thick and terrible, began to spread from under her head, seeping into the beige fibers. Her eyes were open, staring at nothing. In that moment, the reality of what he had done crashed down on him. He hadn't just shot Kaylin. The doctor's visit, the pregnancy. He had ended 2 lives. Panic, pure and primal, took over. The survival instinct erased any last shred of humanity. He didn't check for a pulse. He didn't call for help. He saw a problem and his only thought was to make it disappear. He worked quickly, his hands shaking. He wrapped her body in the blood-stained bedsheet, trying not to look at her face. He was careful, methodical. He cleaned the floor with bleach, scrubbing until the stain was a faded, damp patch. He wiped down every surface he could remember touching. He packed a bag with clothes, his wallet, and the gun. Under the cover of the deep night, he carried her down the back fire escape of the apartment complex. The weight of her and the unborn child a terrible burden. He loaded her into the trunk of his old sedan, the metal lid closing with a definitive metallic thud that made him flinch. He drove for hours, deep into the state forest, the headlights cutting lonely paths through the towering pines. He found a ravine, overgrown and forgotten, and there, under a blanket of indifferent stars, he left them. He covered the shallow grave with leaves and broken branches, a pathetic attempt to hide his sin from the world. He drove back as the sun was rising, the new day feeling alien and wrong. He told himself a story, rehearsing it in his head. She left. She was upset and she just left. He didn't know where she went, but the world doesn't forget so easily. Kaylin's mother had heard the gunshot. She had called the police. The investigation began slowly, then quickly zeroed in on Donovan. His alibi was weak, his demeanor cold. The cleaned apartment smelled faintly of bleach beneath the weed. Forensics found what he had missed. A microscopic speck of Kaylin's blood behind a baseboard. A single strand of her hair caught in the trunk latch. The arrest was swift. At first, he held to his story. But faced with the irrefutable evidence, his facade crumbled. In a sterile interrogation room, he finally confessed, his voice a hollow monotone. He led them to the ravine, where the police dug up the tragic evidence of his crime, Kaylin Fiengo, and the medical confirmation of her 10-week pregnancy. Donovan Faison now sits in a cell, charged with 2 counts of murder. The neon from the pawnshop no longer flashes red and blue for him. Those colors now belong to the police car that took him away. A permanent reminder of the Tuesday he decided that the easiest way to deal with a future was to bury it in a shallow grave. Thank you for watching this complete story. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Unreal Truthful Crime. Stay safe.